بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Several times in the past we mentioned the difference between the summary knowledge and the detailed knowledge. Detailed knowledge, when you know without any doubt that Salatul Fajr is mandatory. This is detailed knowledge. There is no hesitation. It's mandatory. That's an example of it. The example of summary knowledge is what? When we know there is something wajib, but which one? Is it a Friday on a Friday noon? Friday noon. Is it a Friday or dhuhr? So it has two parts. One part, I know something is wajib, definitely. No, we can't run away from that. We can't get away with that. But the part I don't know, is either this or that. This is ijmali, summary, not detailed. While Salatul Fajr is detailed, I know Salatul Fajr is wajib. There is no other salat replacing it. Just one salat. For this, I don't know either this or that. That is called ilmul ijmali. Now, we said that this type of ilmul tafsili, are you with me? Is it ilmul tafsili, is it munajjaz? Munajjaz meaning that, is it binding? Meaning that when you have qat' about this, qat', when you reach the stage of certainty, okay? When you reach the stage of certainty or certitude, is that stage munajjaz, meaning you must do, otherwise you get punished, or no? Nadeem?
Yeah, if we have certitude.
If we reach the state of certitude, qat', then it is munajjaz.
Yeah.
It means you must follow. If you don't follow, there is a consequences. There is punishment. Okay? How about this one? Ilmul ijmali is the same. If it is the same, why? If it is not the same, why? You have to tell me why. Is it also munajjaz? Is ilmul ijmali just like this one, the detailed? Meaning that it can be munajjaz. If you don't do it, you get punished?
No, it's one say, if you have inkishaf, no, and then
Which one has inkishaf?
both of them.
This one has inkishaf. Does this one has inkishaf? What is the degree of this inkishaf?
100%.
100%. What is the degree of this inkishaf?
50.
Less than 100%. So is it munajjaz or not?
A part of it is.
If
Yes.
yeah.
We said that even if inkishaf is less than 100%, still it's binding, munajjaz. However, the difference between this and that is that both of them are munajjaz. This one munajjaz, that one munajjaz. Both you get punished if you don't do it. However, the shari', tahira, the lawgiver, cannot remove this munajjaz. Cannot remove it. While for this one, he can remove it. Because this is in the stage of qat'. Qat'. This is in the stage of what? Dhan. Exactly. That's the difference. This is still, this one also munajjaz. That one also munajjaz. You must do this, you must do that. This one, ilm al-ijmali, is munajjiz. However, the difference between this munajjaz and that munajjaz is that this one is not, it won't be removed by God. He cannot remove it because you have reached the stage of 100%. And He does not tell you to go against your certainty, against your certitude. He would not tell you. It's not good for Him to tell you this. Okay? While this one, because it did not reach the state of certainty, it's only in the state of conjecture, dhan, or probability, ihtimal, then this one can be removed. He can give you ijazah, permission to remove it. To remove this and to remove that. Okay? So this qat', we have two types of qat'. We have qat' that is what? Is غير معلق, unsuspended, absolute. We call it absolute or unsuspended. غير معلق or مطلق. See, غير معلق or مطلق. غير معلق or مطلق. Absolute or unsuspended. That one, the shari', the lawgiver, would not change it. It is not mu'allaq on his permission. It is not. It is absolute. When you reach it, that's it. He cannot change it. But this one, there is another qat' which is mu'allaq. Qat' that is mu'allaq or suspended or conditional. Suspended or conditional. Meaning, the lawgiver can remove it. Lawgiver, shari' can remove it. How does he remove it? By giving you permission not to follow it. But this one, he cannot give you permission not to follow. This one not. Okay? This is ihtimal. This is ihtimal. Ihtimal. This one is qat'. This one is qat'. This one is ihtimal. So, qat' is munajjaz. Ihtimal is munajjaz too. This one is also munajjaz. But this one, the tanjeez of this one is absolute, unsuspended. While the tanjeez of this ihtimal is suspended. It can be removed. Because it has not reached the stage of qat'. It is ihtimal. Any question here? So, sometimes, the lawgiver can tell you that he can remove the tanjeez of the Friday. So you have to do dhuhr. And sometimes he removes the tanjeez of dhuhr. He can remove it because it's suspended. It's pending his permission, his agreement. He can remove that so Friday becomes wajib on you. Okay? And sometimes they say he can remove, is this munajjiz or not? Ilm al-ijmali. Ilm al-tafsili definitely munajjiz, definitely. Ilm al-ijmali is also munajjiz. though it is at a level of ihtimal, probability, but that ihtimal, you should also honor it and respect it in case it hits the reality, in case this is what God wants you to do. So it's also munajjiz, meaning if you didn't do it, although it wasn't very solid and very clear, it was summary, not ijmal, not very clear, but you have to honor it too. But can religion remove the munajjiziyya of it? This one he cannot remove it. This one definitely cannot. Told you, Salat al-Subh 2 rak'ah, mandatory. He cannot later on says, but it is 2 rak'ah, it is mandatory, but you may get away with it, don't do it. He would not say that. How about this, when the knowledge is summary? Does he have the authority, the power to remove the munajjiziyya, the implementation of it? Gives you permission, ijaza or not? Yes. There is imkan. They say he has the right. Maybe he doesn't use that right. Maybe he would not remove it, but if he wants to remove it, he can remove it. You cannot argue with him, why you don't remove this, but you remove this. He tells you, because this is qat'. This is certainty. You exactly know what is in my book. This is your knowledge here. You know exactly what is in my book. Dr. Ali, welcome. But in this one, it has not reached that level. So I can give you permission to overlook it. With this, I cannot give you permission to overlook this. Now, the qat', which is what type of qat'? It is unremovable. The munajjiziyya of it is unremovable, untouchable, unchangeable. What type of qat'? What type of certitude? That it is intact, you cannot touch it, you cannot remove it. Once it is there, it is there. You cannot void it. What type of certitude? What type of qat'?
Absolute and suspended.
The qat' which is related to detailed knowledge. The qat' that is regarding the detailed knowledge, it is not removable. So he does not give you tarkhis. What does tarkhis mean? Permission. He doesn't give you tarkhis not to do it, not to honor it, not to practice it. But why this one he can give you tarkhis? Why this one he cannot, but this one he can? Why in this case he cannot give you permission not to do it? In this one he can give you permission. Because this is based on what? Yeah, qat'. Qat'. But that one is based on what? Shak or dhan or doubt. This is doubt. In case of doubt, he can remove its munajjiziyya. But in case of detailed and qat' certainty, he cannot remove its munajjiziyya. Its bindingness, it cannot be removed. Its authority, it can't be removed. Now, we have two stages, my friends. Sometimes we have the stage of thubut, see, thubut. And we have another, we studied this some time ago, ithbat. What is the difference between them and what is the meaning of both of them? Thubut and ithbat. What's the difference between them? In relation to this. Thubut is when the law is recorded with God in His book, up there in His book. This is thubut. They call it thubut in fiqh. What is ithbat then? What is ithbat?
That's not root.
No. What is ithbat? Ithbat when it gets to us down there. This is the difference between them. Thubut, it is in His book there. Ithbat, when we receive it, when we get it. Now, let me ask you this question and test your memory and your sharp-mindedness. We said this one, detailed knowledge. Morning prayers, dhuhr prayers, asr prayers, it is detailed. It is not shrouded by doubt. I know Salatul Subh is wajib. No kidding about it. Between Fajr and sunrise, 2 rak'ah, Salatul Subh is mandatory. There is no doubt about it. Nobody says 3 rak'ah. Nobody says after sunrise. Nobody says before Fajr. They all know. Yeah, you can do qadha after sunrise. But the time of it is very clear. It's detailed. And nobody argues that one says it's mustahab, the other says it's wajib. We have detailed knowledge. No discussion, no argument. So it is munajjaz. Because it reached the stage of what? Qat'. And once it is qat', it means it's 100%. It becomes munajjaz. And it is absolute and suspended. Meaning, even Sharia cannot change it. That's it. You are done for the rest of your life. This one has not reached this stage. It is still in this stage. Ihtimal. Though ihtimal should also be munajjaz. Why? Do you remember why? We're going to discuss it today. Because it's haqq al-ta'a, Dr. Ali. We said something yesterday and before. Because God is your real Mawla, and you must do everything to satisfy Him, even if you have a probability. Perhaps He wants this. Okay? Possibly He wants this, I must do it. I should not say, well, no, let me run away. No. Even if there is probability, I must do it. So it is munajjaz. However, we said millions of times, can He remove the munajjaziyah from it or not? Because it is in the state of what? Dhan, ihtimal, not qat'. As long as it has not reached the roof, qat', He can change it. But once it reaches there, too late, He cannot change it. Now, is this in the stage of ihtimal or not? Friday prayers. Ihtimal, it could be wajib. Not qat'. Is dhuhr in the stage of ihtimal too? Yes. Yeah, both of them are equal.
On the day of Friday.
On the day of a Friday. On the day of a Friday. On the day of a Friday. Either this or that. So this one is ihtimal, that one is ihtimal. Neither one. If one of them is qat', we scrap. This is not ilm al-ijmali. It becomes tafsili. If I know this is 100% what He wants me, this one, then it becomes tafsili. It's not tafsili because I really don't know. Even until now, we don't know whether He wants this or that. There is a debate. So both of them are in the stage of ihtimal. So can He, this is my question, can He drop both of them and give permission, tarkhis, not to practice them because they are in the stage of ihtimal?
No. Because we have doubt that one of them is mandatory. No.
Question.
We know one of them is wajib. One of them is mandatory. But we don't know which one. So, this is ihtimal and that one ihtimal. Let's come to each one. When it is in the stage of ihtimal, can it be dropped?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It can be dropped. This is also in the stage of ihtimal. Can it be dropped too? Yes. Yes. Practically speaking, they can be dropped. In his book here with him, this is why I put these. In his book here with thubut, it can be dropped. However, nothing came down to us telling us that he will give you permission to drop both of them. Rationally, aqli, he can drop them. He can. Because aql is saying as long as it has not reached the stage of certainty, you can get away with it with his permission, not with your choice, with his permission. Because he says, if you don't reach the state of permission, I'm not going to charge you. The aql is saying. This is in the stage of ihtimal, so he can drop it. So probably with him in this stage, marhalatu thubut, with God, he can drop it. However, we need something to get to me, because with him it doesn't help me. I need this ruling to get to me, not to stay in his book. In this, we don't have a proof that he would drop both of them. So aqlan, it is mumkin, it's possible. Aqlan, it's mumkin, but practically it has not been done.
Question.
Did you get this or not, please? This is daqiq, this is very sharp.
I mean,
Aqlan, he can drop with permission. With permission from him, he can drop it. With permission from him. Okay? Because the tanajjuz meaning I will catch you and punish you if you don't do, applies only to this stage of qat', when there is ilm al-tafsil. But when it is still in the stage of ihtimal, he has the right, not necessarily he practices that right, but he has the right to drop it and release you and free you without any obligation. He has the right, but maybe he doesn't practice it. So the aql says the Mawla has the right to drop both of them, to cancel the munajjiziyah of both of them. Cancel the munajjiziyah of this and that, of ilm al-ijmali. But this is only in this stage, not in that stage. And what we, the abid, the servants of God, we are concerned about this stage, ithbat, when it gets to us. We are not concerned about what really still has not reached to us. Yes, ask your question.
So question where I'm a little confused. So we know that Dhahr is, in my interpretation, work with me, that Dhahr is qat. Because the reason why I say it's qat is because you don't live within a vicinity of Jummah prayer, you still have to pray Dhahr. If you're a woman, all the conditions, if you're a woman and it's not mandatory for you to be at Friday prayer, you must do the Dhahr prayer. So there's a certain level of qat. So I know we said summary knowledge is either or, but it should
But
almost
he
be
says,
either and or.
he says in the Quran, إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع. Though he did not say do Friday prayers, he said on a Friday, when you hear the call, go to God's remembrance. So he didn't say do Friday prayers. Neither he said do Dhuhr. This is why the fuqaha are in disagreement. That if, let's say, we did not do Dhuhr, we did not do Friday, and we did Dhuhr, is that sufficient? Or he's going to ask us, he says, oh, I told you Friday. Or if we did a Friday, and we didn't do Dhuhr, is that would be sufficient or not? He says, no, we don't know. They have disagreement. Because it is ilmul ijmali, it falls in this category. Therefore, ilmul ijmali, based on shak, doubt. It's not based on qat'. It's based on shak. Because either or. Once you say either or, it becomes what? Shak, doubt. It's not qat'. Because if it is qat', you say dhuhr. I don't care. You say jumu'ah. I don't care what others say. But you have not reached that stage. Okay? In Salatul Fajr, you reach that stage. So in this case, he has the right to cancel the munajjiziyya. Because we said munajjiziyya is what? The quality of munajjiziyya is what? Is kashifiyya. Okay? Because it tells you what is in his book. In this case, it tells you 100% what is in his book with certainty. In that case, it tells you with a probability degree, not full degree. So as long as it has not reached the kashifiyat, has not reached the 100 degree, he has the right to ask you not to do it, to relieve you from it. He has the right. But whether he did this or not, we don't know. Because in this stage, we have not received anything.
But I guess my point is, though he can't relinquish us from the Dhuhr. Even with the Aqli, he can't.
How do you know?
The reason being
Because Dhuhr is a special, that's special day. Who said the rest of the week he cannot relinquish? Who said Dhuhr? Who said the, huh?
on Friday, I'm saying.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
He can't relinquish.
No, who said?
Well, because
Because you are assuming on the rest of the week you must do it, then maybe a day of holiday. He doesn't want you to do Dhuhr, special day, day of holiday. You can't say that. Though we don't believe he would, I'm not saying he will, no. But I am saying he has the permission to void the munajjiziyya of it. So if you don't pray, he would not come after you. There is, aqlan, there is possibility. Rationally, in a rational way, there is a possibility. But practically, no, we did not receive any permission not to do. In fact, we received confirmations that if you don't do this, then you have to do this. If you don't do this, you have to do that.
I have a question.
Yes, Habibi.
So you said
You need to smile because today's lesson is tough, I'm telling you. Believe me, I spent 3 hours preparing it.
so no, you said the munajjiziyya of both of the Friday prayer. If it's in the stage of ithbat, it can be dropped. It can be dropped if it's in ithbat.
No. If it is in the stage of thubut, he has the right to drop it.
In the stage,
Thubut meanings with him.
so
The news has not reached us.
Right.
Ithbat, the news has reached us with us.
Right. Okay, that's why.
So the bottom line of this is that the munajjiziyya of this detailed knowledge, its munajjiziyya is what? What is the difference between this munajjiziyya and that munajjiziyya?
It's 100%. This one is.
This one is absolute and conditional. Call it 100%. Meaning Sharia cannot void this munajjiziyya. It's not mu'allaq based on Sharia's permission or not permission. It's granted. This is granted because ilm al-tafsili. He would not tamper with it later on. But the munajjiziyya of ilm al-ijmali is what? Is mu'allaq. Mu'allaq on what? Conditional. If he does not give you permission to get away with it, you must do it. But if he gives you permission to get away with it, you may not do it. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Okay. Yeah.
But Maulana, there is certitude that one of them is wajib.
Yes.
So
But
there
which
is
one?
certain-
Which one?
No,
This
no,
is
what
the
I
point.
mean logically, when you say
I
A
know.
or B, yeah?
This is why they say you can. This is why the final ruling today, no one of the jurists since Adam until last day of, no one said to drop both of them. Because we know there is, because ilm al-ijmali we mentioned yesterday has two parts. One of them is a clarity, the other is obscurity. The clarity says there is something has been sent, but we don't know. We did not open the envelope yet. I gave the example when you receive a letter from the court yesterday. Okay? There is a letter that has been, there is a command on a Friday. We must do something. The obscurity we don't know. Is the one which is requested or required or that one? So definitely there is something. But when you analyze these two parts, both aspects, they call them طرف. طرف العلم الإجمالي. This is طرف part, this is another. When you analyze them, both of them are in the stage of احتمال, not قطع. So religion, lawgiver has right, he has the right to take the munajjiziyah. Although this is munajjaz, ihtimal is always munajjaz, but he has the right not to punish you. While this one, he does not have right not to punish you. Are you with me? In this one, he has no right. He says, I told you, Salat al-Subh. You get away with it, you get punished. Now on the day of judgment, maybe we forgive you, but this one I can remove the liability of it, the bindingness of it. I can remove, I have the right. In this, I don't have right. That's the difference between them.
So far we've concluded that we can remove both Friday or Dhuhr.
In this stage, Habibi,
that stage.
don't get excited, not this stage. Believe me.
No, in that stage only.
In this stage, God has the right.
Right.
Has the right to remove. Because both of them, they do not have enough power. They are in this stage, ihtimal. Ihtimal means 50%.
Right. I mean, so far in the discussion.
50% they hit his book, what is in his book, 50%. And it has another 50% that it is not in his book. It's removed. He didn't put it in his book.
Until it reaches us through it.
Exactly. If it reaches us, then, but since did not reach us, it remains only an idea, abstract idea, not solid. Only in this stage, abstract idea. Meaning a judge has discretion to issue an order, but practically he does not issue that order.
Right.
He has the right to issue an order, but he would not do that.
There's an executive, not legislative.
Exactly. This is the same. God has, but with this one he doesn't have. Or not he doesn't have. This is not right to say he doesn't. He wouldn't do that. Because this is a clear contradiction. While with this one, it would not create contradiction.
But the verse that you mentioned from the Quran.
So remember this. I'll put this in your test, inshallah. Before I give you the certificate, I'll give you a test of these 2 years. The munajjiziyah. Remember, this is very easy. Munajjiziyah means what? If you don't do it, you are liable. They come after you. They punish you. This is called munajjiziyah. The munajjiziyah of ilm al-tafsili is unconditional. Meaning God would not remove it. Don't be happy or excited. One day He will tell you, Salat al-Subh is not wajib. He would not. But munajjiziyah of ilm al-ijmali, rationally, aqli, is possible that He can remove it. But whether He did remove it or not, no, we don't know. It's in this stage, not in that stage. And what we are, the abid, the servants of God, we are concerned with this stage. When the law reaches our doorsteps, as long as it is in His book, we don't know. He has to send it to us. Ithbat, marhalatul ithbat, so I know whether He wants me to do this or He doesn't. Now, let's come to something very important and very this is
Say, can I ask you a question? This, what you just described right now,
Yeah.
is that, because I imagine that has to do with the concept of adala, right? So do the...
concept of what? Adala?
Adala, yes.
Uh-huh.
Would the Sunnis believe in the same concept of munajjiziyah where it can and can't be removed?
Sunnis?
Yeah, if they don't, because they don't believe that one of God's his essence is adala.
Uh-huh.
So isn't that tied to this munajjiziyah between summary knowledge versus deep
No.
knowledge? That's not tied to the...
No. Adala, we know for certain This is beyond any doubt that God is just. Adala is inseparable from his entity, from his essence.
Right.
Sometimes a judge or a person could be a person, then he became adil. Or one day he was adil, adala was taken away from him. With God, it is inseparable. Justice and tawheed, tawheed and adl, inseparable. We cannot separate them. We come to something called al-qat', the certitude. At-tariqi and al-mawdu'i. What is the difference between them? Tariqi is revealing. Revealing. A way to know the fact. Tariqi means tariq, a way to know the fact, revealing. Mawdu'i means subjective. What is the difference between them? We have two types of certitude. One of them is tariqi, and the tariqi becomes munajjaz. Munajjaz. This one غير munajjaz. This one is munajjaz, binding. This is non-binding. This one is kashif, revealing. I said revealing. I put it here. Kashif. That one is the maker of the law, not kashif. This one reveals for you the law. This one makes the law for you. What is the difference between them? Examples. Example, Sharia of this one. Number one, God states that wine is haram. God states that wine is forbidden. Alcohol, any form of alcohol, is forbidden. Or any form of muskir sometimes. They put a general name for it. They call it muskir, intoxicant. Whether it is wine, whether it is beer, whether it is whatever, okay, is haram. The second, I know this cup is a wine. Third, the result is what?
This cup is haram.
This cup is haram, and it becomes what? Munajjaz, binding. Munajjaz. Okay? Meaning that I know this type of bindingness is revealing for me what is in God's book. Because I have two facts. Fact number one, which I am certain about it, I have qat about it, that God definitely, 100% says wine is what? Haram. And definitely, for the sake of example, this cup has wine, 100%. So this is definitely going to be binding, 100%. Why? Because this reveals to me, this cup, what is the ruling in God's book. God says wine is forbidden. Now I can see this wine, okay? I can smell it. I know this is wine by the color, by the smell, let's say. Okay? And I find out this reveals for me. قطع الطريق reveals, كاشف, because it has the power of كاشفية, revealing, revelation in what is in God's book. That one is different. How this one is different? That one, God does not say to you it is haram first. This one, the ruling first, subject second. Ruling is this, my sweeties. Ruling is God says wine is haram. This cup is wine, this is the subject, then it becomes haram. So the ruling comes first, the subject second. This one, the subject comes first. This is why they call it subjective. Second, ruling. How is that? God says if, in this second example, if you reach the stage of certainty that this is wine, then it becomes haram. So first establish the subject. Establish this. Make sure that this is wine, then it becomes haram. If you did not reach the stage of certitude that this is wine, would it be still haram? Huh? It won't be haram. So your knowledge plays a role here. This is why it is subjective. Why? Because your knowledge, your ilm, your knowledge is a subject, interferes in this business. Your knowledge is going to say whether this is halal or haram. Your findings is going to say whether this is halal or haram. Give you another example, easy example. Hajj, going to Hajj. Look at me so I can speak and then write. Going to Hajj. Going to Hajj is conditioned, yes? It's conditioned. It's not like prayers. Prayers is not conditioned. You have to pray. Going to Hajj, not everybody has to go to Hajj. Who should go to Hajj? Istita'a, ability. So if you establish the istita'a, then it becomes wajib. The ruling becomes. Are you with me? So if you don't establish this, would this become wajib? It won't become wajib on you. Once you establish the istita'a, Hajj becomes wajib. So the subject first, the ruling second. While this one, the ruling first, the subject second. This one, ruling first, subject second. This one, your subject comes first, and then the ruling second.
So say,
Another example.
can we use that same example for this one? Could we say Hajj is wajib on the side of tariqi? So Hajj is wajib, how would you say?
No, you can't say Hajj is wajib. You have to say istita'a should be available, then Hajj becomes wajib. So the subject, you have to grab the subject, then you can get the ruling. If you don't grab the subject first, you cannot grab the ruling. The wujub is not established at all because you don't have the subject. You have to establish and build and create the subject first, which is istita'a, so it becomes wajib. As long as you don't have available the istita'a, which is the subject, you have no ruling. So you play a role, your knowledge plays a role. Another example. Imagine there is a shirt. Dress. There is najasa on this dress. Someone took his shirt, put it here in the room. He went. A person came, put some blood on it, urine on it. And that guy doesn't know. Let's say he goes to an office, laboratory, he puts an overcoat. He doesn't know that someone wore this before him in his absence. And there was najasa on it. But this person who wears this usually doesn't know about the najasa. And he prays, does salat. Is his salat accepted or rejected?
Except
Accepted. But the shirt has najasa. Huh? So how you say it's accepted?
the continuity, he left it clean and then he came back.
It doesn't
He
have
assumes it's clean.
certitude.
It's because of the mawdu'i.
Because he doesn't know about the najasa. He doesn't know about it. He assumes that it's pak. It's a clean. So his prayers is accepted. He doesn't know. He doesn't have ilm. This is like this one. Your ilm plays a role in making this halal or haram. In this example, the Shara' says, if you make qat' that this is wine, at that moment it becomes haram. Before it, it's not haram. Okay, my sweeties?
How is this, say it play a factor into...
So it could be not haram. It could be not haram. But let's say I have qat', it's wine. Then it becomes haram. Even in reality, it could be not wine, therefore not haram. But if I reach the stage of certainty, it becomes haram on me. Because I reach certainty. Because he told me it is mu'allaq on your certainty. Once you get certain, it becomes haram.
So how does this play a factor, say it into rule making?
We will come to this slowly, slowly. Believe me. We will use both of them soon, very soon.
How does it, I mean, I'm trying to figure out when they decide to do mawdu'i versus tariqi.
No, they don't decide. It is like that. This one, the subject comes first, and then the hukm second. Like I say, a white sheet. Let's say this is white sheet. I say, listen, Dr. Ali, I say a white sheet. First, I have to bring the sheet, then I say it is white. I cannot say it's white if I don't have a sheet. First, you have to establish the sheet itself, bring the sheet into existence, and then you say this sheet is white. You have to create the subject first, and then you bring the ruling. Okay? The difference between this and this is that this one has the element of revelation, revealing. It's not interfere, it just reveals the law to you. This one, it creates the law. You are the creator of the law because your knowledge plays a role. If you reach the stage of qat', then immediately it becomes binding on you, becomes haram. If your knowledge has not reached the stage of qat', it's not haram on you. So you play a role. Your knowledge is instrumental here.
Right. So there can be different variations of the...
Different variations. We will come to it. We will come to it. We will come and see the applications of it.
So a lot of the mujtahids may differ because of that reason.
Yes. One of the differences between this and that is that this is munajjaz. Once you know God tells you wine is haram, and once you know this is wine, God cannot change because it becomes munajjaz immediately. This one, it's not munajjaz. Why? Why this is not munajjaz?
It's all dependent on the subject.
Exactly, mu'allaq. This is mu'allaq. So God can change it, but that one He cannot change it. Okay? Now, let's go to, so here you play a role in the prohibition. If you establish this, you play a role in the prohibition. Now,
The prohibition or acceptance, right?
yes. Another example. قطع الطريق, this one, this type of certitude has a substitute. This type of certitude has a substitute. How is that? Sometimes when you come to number 2, I figure out that this is wine through me. So it becomes haram. Sometimes not me, someone that I trust. I don't know wine. What is wine? I have never seen wine, never smelled wine. But someone there who's trustworthy, ثقة, خبر الثقة. خبر الثقة tells me this is wine. So as soon as he tells me wine and he's ثقة, it becomes binding. Not necessarily you. This is tariqi. Because it reveals, immediately reveals. Either by yourself or someone else. Okay? But here, look at the difference here. An example of that, قطع الطريق, القطع الموضوعي, sorry, is you in the court. When they call you to the court as a witness. You as a witness. Here, you are the subject. Your knowledge is considered. And there is no substitute for that. This one, there is a substitute. You or someone else, trustworthy. For this one, we need your observation. The judge says, Mustafa, did you see yourself? You have to say yes or no. You cannot say, yes, I am depending on someone else's testimony. Your observation. So if your observation, you say yes, it becomes, they issue the ruling, not someone else. So this one, قطع الموضوعي, the قطع, which is موضوعي, has no substitute. This one, قطع الطريق, has a substitute. This one has a substitute. That one does not have a substitute. This is not non-replaceable. You have to. Your knowledge, we want your knowledge. Your knowledge is a subject. You. Don't tell me, I heard it. Someone that I trust. The judge says, no. I didn't call that. I want you. You are the subject here. Once we establish you, we issue the ruling. So this has no substitute. This one has a substitute. Now, in the istishab also there is a difference. When it comes to istishab. What is the fruit? Why we are wasting time studying this or that? We will see in the near future. An example of that is istishab. Istishab is to continue the previous condition that you left it earlier. Because you were certain, now after 2 days, 1 week, you come in the state of doubt. So what should you do? You change or you don't change? Sharia says you don't change unless another certainty comes. But if you have doubt, the doubt cannot wrestle with certainty. Always certainty wins. So you keep the old condition. In this case, In this case, if you did not, you left this cup clean, you came 2 days later, and someone told you that there is najasa in it, not you yourself. How do you treat this someone? Do you treat it as a certainty? So you void your first certainty and this you establish a new ruling here? Or it has to be you?
If it's trustworthy person, you change it. If it's trustworthy person, you change it. You change it to like he told you.
But according to this, they say no.
But according to what we said earlier, if it's trustworthy, we change it. If it's
In this,
Yeah.
but not in that.
Oh yeah, in that way.
In this case, there is no substitute. There is no substitute. It has to be you. You are the subject. You are the subject of revelation, not someone else. You cannot bring a substitute. They discuss this extensively later on. Because they say, someone else, what do we call it? What is the legal term of it? Someone else, so. And he's thiqa, trustworthy. What do we call it legally?
That's not illegal.
No. What do we call khabar al-thiqa? It has a legal term. It's called, no. It's called amara. Sign. Amara. Though he is thiqa, but does that mean 100% accurate always? No. He's thiqa. And religion tells me trust him, take his opinion. But we are alleviating him. He's not 100%. Who says he was 100? Maybe he didn't see well. Maybe he didn't hear well. Okay? But we treat him as trustworthy and we take his word. But it does not reach the level of certitude, doesn't? This is dhan. Khabar al-thiqa is in the level of dhan, not qat'. Still there is room for it that it does not match what is in God's book. Because he's one person and he's trustworthy. We respect him, he doesn't lie. But he makes mistakes.
What about if there's many people,
Many different. That one dalil. Many, when it becomes many consensus, that is different. It gives us more confidence. That's like ijma', for instance. But below that, one person, it's amara. It's amara. It's not dalil. It's amara. Amara is below dalil. We studied this and we're going to study that. Okay?
You said that even though it's done, the sharih
Gives it credibility. Yeah, but it does not take it from its nature, which is dhan. Still dhan. Suppose I bring someone who's first grader. I'm the principal of the school. I love his father, his mother. I put him, rather than being in first grade, I put him in 5th grade. I put him in 5th grade. Does it mean that he deserves it? No. He might not deserve it. But I say I have freedom. I am the principal of the school. I can do whatever I like. So Sharia gives it that position to this khabar al-thiqa. But does he really deserve it? It means he's always accurate? No, he's not always accurate. He's not ma'soom. He may make mistakes. وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.